Welcome back to Northeast Current. I'm your host, Kimberly Aquilina. With the holiday season comes the anticipation of delicious meals while spending time with family, friends, and other loved ones. For those handling the cooking and entertaining, this time of year can also spell the beginning of endless lists, shopping, and preparation. Food Network star, celebrity chef, and busy mom Alex Guarnaschelli is all about simplifying the holiday entertaining experience without losing any of the taste or that wow factor. As a familiar face on Food Network shows like Chopped and the next Iron Chef Redemption, Alex knows firsthand how intense it can get in the kitchen. We are so excited to have you here, Iron Chef. Are there any fun and tasty holiday trends to look for these holidays?
Well, actually, I'm working on a recipe that follows into my two-part trend for the holidays, and that is some twice-baked sweet potatoes with a pecan and brown sugar crust. So here's my trend for 2013. It's a two-parter. First of all, time management. A dish like this can be made almost completely in advance and just heat it up when your guests come, and I love that because you can put on your favorite evening gown, throw something in the oven, and be done. So part of it is just making stuff in advance. Then the other part is using nuts in unusual places, particularly in savory food. I feel like pecans always get stuck in the pie, and they can never break from their typecasting. And so I'm really interested in this idea that, for example, they're wonderful with sweet potatoes, with other, underloved root vegetables like braised turnips or rutabaga or other things. When we're looking for new side dishes, I just think nuts can be a great addition to kind of bring new cool vegetables and side dishes to life. I also think instead of using things like flour and breadcrumbs to thicken sauces or vinaigrettes, you can whisk in some ground nuts, which adds body and a really great deep roasted flavor, and in a much lighter way. So that's what I'm kind of working on. This is actually all part of my partnership with Fisher Nuts, and you can check out my recipes and lots of tips at fishernuts.com.
Well, aside from the sweet potatoes you just showed us, what other dishes do you look forward to making?
I love a roast turkey. Some years I try for Thanksgiving to make something else, like a big rib roast or some chickens or whatever. So I'm really this year into the classics, quite honestly. I'm really excited about the roast turkey. For other holidays like Christmas, I'm really excited to cook some steaks like skirt steak, hanger steak, some maybe more unusual cuts that are a little less fancy than strip steaks and ribeyes and whatever else, but pack a lot of flavor and don't cost as much. So that's what I'm kind of looking at this year, at least so far. I am a professional chef, so I tend to change my mind a lot about what I make.
I'm assuming you like to cook with your family all year round.
My daughter, my 6-year-old, is the toughest crowd I know. I come home from a day on the set of Chopped, and my daughter tells me I'm chopped, which is obviously much harder to deal with. So yeah, I have a very discerning palate to deal with at home, which I enjoy a lot. And I do a lot of fast cooking for her. Unless I do something like this and I make it in advance and then I just heat it up because, when you have a hungry 6-year-old, the world stops until she eats.
So, Iron Chef, tell our viewers about your upcoming projects.
Yeah, I just wrapped a huge season of Chopped. I shot some episodes of Iron Chef America, which were, life-changing, both in the worst and best senses of the word. And I'm opening a new restaurant, Butter, in Midtown Manhattan on 45th Street in the Casa Hotel. And I am super excited about that. That's going to happen in the next week or two.
Any last thoughts to share with our viewers?
Well, I just think this idea of cooking in advance and making stuff so you don't run around like a crazy person and kind of miss the event altogether because you're in the kitchen is super important, because I think you can make your menu plan in advance, but to have that precious family time and not be stuck doing dishes or cooking and cutting up stuff at the last minute can make such a difference for your holidays. Also, I set the table in advance, and that way when my guests come, my whole house is ready. And I could just be in the kitchen and be kind of self-contained. But I will definitely be making this twice-baked sweet potatoes with pecans. That's something I'm really excited about.
Since you're in New York and only 2 hours away from Scranton, feel free to come visit and I'll buy you a Texas wiener at Coney Island.
I love that. Thank you.
We'd like to thank our guest, Iron Chef Alex Guarnaschelli. Definitely going to use those tips and tricks this holiday season. Thank you for joining us. That about wraps it up here at Northeast Current. This is your host, Kimberly Aquilina, signing off.